You have a
I'm
much
sorry.
nicer background than I do. It's
Oh, I
way
was trying to
classier.
create like a good background with a fire here, but there's like a reflection. If I just hold my hand right here,
It's whatever. Hey, we get two of me, so it's not bad.
here, maybe like this camel or something. I'll put this.
Yeah, yeah.
Does that work?
No, that's fine. That's fine.
I have to like hold them the whole time. It's gonna be really weird.
Everyone's gonna be so confused. You're
Yeah,
just holding a
which
camel.
is which is kind of the name of the game, right?
Yeah, yeah.
There we go.
Awesome. Well, I am joined here by Mike Odd of Mac Sabbath. How's it going, man?
Hey, I'm manager of Mac Sabbath. How's it going with you?
It's going great. It's going great. You got a camel. You look very cozy, very
Oh,
comfortable here.
camel here.
So, what is the message of Mac Sabbath?
Well, it's all about what happened to me was I'm like a purveyor of oddities, right? I like ran this oddities museum and stuff. And so, you get all these weird calls. I'll come out and see my, two-headed, platypus skeleton in my shed or whatnot. You know what I mean? So I got this call to come out, and I to this fast food franchise where they were having these secret meetings, and these guys are doing these mutated fast food mascot rock concerts in the basements of these burger places. And it was all this weird secret stuff where it doesn't seem like anybody was supposed to be there. And this Ronald Osborne guy is screaming about uh, Monsanto and GMOs and stuff. And he was like, "You're going to be our manager and you're going to bring us above ground." And I thought I was being pranked or something. And his whole thing is to like that we're not living how we should in this time, and that he's somehow traveling through a wormhole from the 1970s and wants to like bring us back or have some sort of unity between the two times where we can figure out how to get back to where like music and food was more organic. So
Yeah,
that's like his whole thing.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. We always knew the fans always knew it was very occulty. So that's good that you shine some light on that because we knew
Yeah,
something's going on there.
I wish I had my lantern to. I
Yeah, yeah. You need like a
probably should
black
get my.
robe right now, you
I
know?
probably should get my lantern, but probably
That's
gonna.
whatever. Well, hey, I am curious, what is it even like on the road with Mac Sabbath? Is it crazy? Is it smelly? Is it, you
Well, it's
know,
complicated because it's like he just shows up out of nowhere,
yeah,
and it's always this battle with technology and modern times because he's very not into that. So I'm always dealing with all these weird things with him, and he's like, I feel like he's tricking me and saying all these things that don't make any sense on purpose. And then as it goes on and on, like the stuff that he was saying like 7 years ago that I thought was totally insane and like paranoid and ridiculous, is like I see it, I've like seen it come to fruition. So a lot of that happens too. So and then that makes it even harder on me because then I'm just not like, whatever, that guy's just, and then and now I'm like, oh, like it's maybe this is real. And like now all of a sudden there's like, robot police dogs and talk of these, what I mean, talk of these like completely automated robot, burger places and stuff. And it's like, oh, okay, this is like what he was talking about 7 years ago, and now the stuff that he's talking about now, I'm like forced to have to like listen to in a bit of a different light.
yeah. You can maybe say that Mac Sabbath is like the modern day Four Horsemen, where
Wow, I
when
hadn't
they
heard
started,
that.
we have robot dogs now. We have all this. So I guess it was the start of it.
It could be. Hopefully, it's not the
Yeah.
beginning of the end. But he says that we can fight it and go the other way. So let's do
Well,
it.
I'm very proud of Ronald Osborne, right? That's
Yeah.
because you're saying he's very scared of technology and whatnot. I'm
Yeah.
very proud of him because I think it was like 5 years ago, you guys did like VR 360 live videos.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
Well,
Was
stuff
it
like
just
that, he definitely does not know about.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the kind of thing you gotta like, you know what I mean? Like he won't be
Yeah.
watching this, so like we don't have to worry. You know what I mean?
We can say whatever we want about him, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of how I do it.
So now we know he's getting older, you know, we know he's, you know, doing a lot of stuff. Will we ever see like a Ronnie James Donald in the future if you guys part
He
ways?
talks about Mickey Dio. And I don't know if he's real or not. You know, I always just write all that stuff off and go, I can't find any of his stuff anywhere. He's full of it. He's talking about Burger King Diamond and stuff, and it's just like, you know, it's like give me a break. And then we're playing. I think it was in Cleveland, Ohio, at the Beachland Ballroom, and the opening band, which I didn't have anything to do with, brings out Burger King Diamond, and he starts singing for this opening band, like unannounced, and Ronald's just freaking out. And he was like, "What's going on?" And like, you did this, and I'm like, well, I didn't do this. I'm like, well, obviously they let him in, and I was talking to the security, and the security said they didn't know anything about it. And he goes, I think they're telling me a Whopper. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know. So
Yeah,
so
I'll be honest, I wasn't a huge fan of Merciful Fries, but it's good that Burger King Diamond is doing his
fries.
own
I
thing
believe
now.
that one.
Now, I do wanna mention because this was a kind of a high point in their career when there was a crossover with Ozzy and Jack's World Detour. So how did that happen? They got on I believe it was on Travel Channel or whatnot?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So how did that even
yeah.
did they reach out to you? Did they
That was a weird thing that was done behind my back. See, like sometimes.
really?
So it gets weird, and there's like this trickery back and forth and stuff. But
Uh-huh.
I later, after the whole thing happened, had communication with the TV show and everything, and they gave us that video to post on the YouTube, which went crazy because Rolling Stone picked it up. So that I was involved in, but initially I wasn't. So it was like kind of strange. Like he's like, "Oh, you're gonna do stuff I don't know about. I'm gonna do stuff you know."
Yeah. Because that's wild.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
good.
Was the band, like, shitting themselves before that? Like, behind the curtain and, like, Ozzy's on the other side? We got, like, the crossover of the
Yeah. In the
century here?
aftermath, everybody was very shocked, but it came out so nice, and he was so pleasant and amazing, and totally got it, and thought it was hilarious. Which is funny because before that, there was all these people that are like, "You're being disrespectful," and blah blah blah. There was some of that stuff going on, and I was like, "No, I don't think so," because Black Sabbath is posting the videos on the Facebook and stuff. So it's like I don't think so. But then that was just like he totally got it. I mean, what did he say? Something like, "Oh, it's a spoof on Black Sabbath." He said, "If
Yeah.
you can't handle it, then don't do it." Meaning, like, if you don't have a sense of humor about yourself, you shouldn't, you don't even belong in this business, kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy that people even gatekeep, like, drive-through metal to
Right.
begin with. It's like, do you really not like, get into politics at least, like, put your
Yeah.
energy into something else
Soon
at
I will
that
be
point.
hearing about bands that are disrespecting Mac Sabbath. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
eh,
And you never know, like, we might have another, form of Mac Sabbath playing in front
yeah.
of, Ronald Osborne or something. Is that the weirdest gig Mac Sabbath has ever done? Has there been weirder?
I don't. I would imagine there's not much weirder than playing for Ozzy and his son and his granddaughter.
Yeah, because I don't yeah, you really can't get any weirder than that, especially,
No,
like
I mean, they played at a festival called Outside Lands in San Francisco at the Golden Gate Park, and went on right before Elton John. So that's pretty big.
wow.
Yeah, that
Wow.
was very shocking for me. I mean, it was right. Well, I took them to England to play at Download Festival, which was capitally shocking at that point because it was very early. And the band hadn't even left California, and that was like Kiss, Motley Crue, Slipknot, and then Judas Priest, and come back and play with Elton John. It's like, that's even more confusing.
The next step. That's imagine, like, oh Jesus Christ, I can't imagine. No one's gonna believe. Like, I saw Mac Sabbath open for Elton John. It's like, no, you didn't. Like, who?
No, no, I say it in interviews all the time, and they're like, "What? Just check it." It's like it's not.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, as we wrap up here, I'm just curious. Well, and I know there's a technology difference. Will Mac Sabbath ever make its streaming debut?
Uh, I work on stuff like that. There was a thing that we did with we there was a little thing that we did with Monsters of Rock cruise that he didn't know that it was that all that was going on. So
Mm.
technically, that's already happened with Monsters of Rock cruise. They
He
they did.
probably doesn't have a Spotify account. You know what I
No,
mean?
definitely not.
Maybe you can sneak
Definitely
in a
not. I think
couple
he just got an
tracks.
8-track tape player. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Hey, maybe that could be something, a Mac Sabbath 8-track release.
there has been discussions of that, believe it or not.
Oh yeah, because you guys had the pop-up book,
Right,
I
right.
believe, which that must have sold fast. And that was a one-time release, right?
Yeah, yeah. There's still a few left, but yeah, that was it. That's never going to happen again. Before that, there was a coloring book with a flexi disc single, and those are all
Yeah.
gone.
Wow.
So the pop up book, there's a few left. It's a lot more of a elaborate, expensive endeavor, but I mean that is like historical merch. If you can get your hands on one of those, I mean, I would imagine that pretty soon they're going to be all gone, and they're going to be on eBay for very many hundreds of dollars. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, which is, I believe, didn't McDonald's did that, right? And one of the thing, I think McDonald's did that. Has there been any legal issues
I don't. I,
at
I,
all?
I don't even know. I don't even know the words that you're saying right now. I don't
Okay,
understand
yeah,
them.
fair enough, fair enough. Well, well, it might have been a dream or something, you know. But listen, man, as we wrap up, how can fans keep in touch with Mac Sabbath?
I operate on all the socials, so I have a thing going on Instagram and Facebook, and believe you can email through the website officialmacsabbath.com. So yeah.
Cool,
So,
awesome. Well, Mike, God, thank you so much for
hey,
joining me.
thank you, thank you, thanks for having me in the camel.
Yes, of course. Well, you two are welcome back anytime. Thank you for joining. I'm Brandon Baddock, and this is Disturbing the Priest.